You need to reconsider what you're up against in a relationship and what you can handle and tolerate. Many of you are tolerating dark principalities and powers working through the person that you're with that they're not even aware of. Little micro-incremental lies, negligences, omissions and commissions that these people perform to aggravate you. They're not even aware of, influenced by the dark side. A lot of these people can be Christian as well, and unaware that having an attitude of or a sense that you're making God happy or stopping him from being sad by what you do or don't do contributes to the arousal of the sinful nature, the nature that wants to destroy from the inside out. So Christianity in a way is not a total means of protection. Whilst that person might be saved and on their way to heaven, they could be the most miserable, horrible person to get along with that you've ever met, or at least cunning enough to inflict enough aggravation to bit by bit bring trauma and trauma is something that we all want to avoid, if not trauma, at least disappointment and aggravation and these other subtle forms of disruption to harmony in a relationship. And these all contribute not to a healthy relationship. It might be a relationship that you're willing to continue to invest in and contribute to, but it's not healthy. Maybe it's your insecurity that's holding you there. Maybe it's your devotion, loyalty, and faithfulness that's holding you there. Maybe it's your fear of being on your own. Believe me, you won't end up on your own if you do the work on yourself and present yourself. These things hold us in relationships, even marriages that are abusive, that we ought not stay in. Because staying in places of abuse bring sickness, harm, disease, loss of finances, illness, stress, and things to do with your health that you would not otherwise encounter, negative things. And coming back to the dark side of the principalities and powers that work against us and that we're supposed to be warring against, and you do that by believing in Christ, these principalities and powers are working together to destroy whoever they can, whenever they can, however they can. And if they use your partner, which was the original pattern in the garden where Satan used the woman to bring down humanity. You didn't go near the man. You make of that what you will. Then you realize that the relationship, the core fundamental part of the relationship, will be undermined. The principles of the relationship. Now I've had relationships where the new partners come along and agreed with all the grievances that you tell them about the last partner and all this and that, and how they're going to do better and things are going to be different now and all this and that, only to get a different version of the same problem, possibly different behaviors and things like this, but ultimately the same problem. And so it's a cycle that you need to be aware of. It's a cycle that starts with the sinful nature within all of us. We all have a sinful, evil nature, and it'll do whatever it can to subtly work against us without us being aware of it. And funnily enough, sometimes we will get a sense that we're going off track a bit and the sinful nature will numb out, but it'll still be working underneath all the sounds and activities and quietnesses, influencing away at us to make wrong decisions and do wrong things like not exercise, not eat right, smoke, take drugs, mind-altering substances and other things like this. Marijuana's the big one that's been sort of, made to appear as it's not consequential to the mind and the way that we think, when it very well is. It affects all sorts of parts of our psychology and anatomy. We convince ourselves because we like it and we want it that it's not as harmful as we know that it is, because you can tell by what it does to you. It's not just a painkiller, it's a mind-altering wrecker. Just let this girl go past. Just let that girl go past. I didn't want to embarrass her. Sort of a bit of a lonely street here. And so all these things that come up against us, all these things that try and destroy us and then our relationships, all these conflicts, we have to be aware of. We have to know that there's every possibility that the person that we're with may change for the worst. And in them doing that, it's not necessarily a promise that they're going to go and do any better. Usually they make life more complicated for themselves and more difficult for themselves. People that live the wrong way will ultimately have it catch up with them. That's what happens. That's how it works. It does catch up. And what you need to do is make sure that you're on point, that you're doing the right thing, that you're not harming anyone, hurting anyone, abusing anyone. Continue to do the best that you can with what you have and how you perform, not only in your personal private life but in your relationships. Having healthy boundaries and keeping healthy attitudes and outlooks, not submitting to evil, people's evil behavior, and the ways in which they act that work against most things anyway. Staying on point. As soon as somebody starts to unnecessarily pull you down or ruin you that you're in a relationship with, you need to detach, wake up and detach, walk away as quickly as you can, never contact them again and never go back.